I'll be the first to admit that I am a people pleaser. All right, you got me. I'm a people pleaser, or at least I think I was. I used to be. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Growing up and stuff, I always just wanted to I didn't want to make anybody mad. I wanted to make people. That's cool. I wanted to make people happy. I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to be seen as a good friend and considered to be a good friend. In case I wanted my friends to do the same thing for me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But growing up with that mentality and being like a people pleaser, always saying yes. Always saying yes is where I think the issue is. Not knowing how to say no is what the issue was. And as I got older, I started learning a painful lesson about how you need to say no sometimes. As I constantly started saying yes to just whatever someone needed, especially as I got older in high school and I had started developing more responsibilities, right? I had a job, I had extracurricular activities, I had a relationship, I had family, as a, 16-year-old. That's a lot of stuff. School, trying to get into college and whatnot and doing all that. Man, it can be a lot. The painful lesson of not knowing how to say no caught up to me real quick. I'd constantly just find myself being kind of stretched thin, and eventually saying yes was putting me into not harmful situations, like my life wasn't, threatened or anything like that, but it would prevent me from being able to focus on other things. Me always saying yes, people became dependent on me or assumed that, Shirozen said yes to doing this for me last time. Of course he's going to say yes this next time I ask him. And it's great to be wanted. It's great to be, depended on. I think that's a really awesome that people trust you, right? It's a sign of trust. But recently, like this past week, it's flu season. Everybody's getting sick. Everybody's feeling under the weather. The time change here in the US, at least where I am, because I'm not in Arizona. My week started with me having to end up kind of swapping shifts and having to cover certain parts of the day and do split shifts because like I said, everyone is just out sick right now with the flu season. I get it. It's all good. And I'd want somebody there to help me if I was sick and under the weather and I didn't want to leave, my team, struggling for the day because I wasn't there and I wasn't able to help out, So I get it. That's awesome. That's responsibility being taken care of. But I found myself kind of swapping shifts for a couple people this week. Not because they were sick, but because maybe they had a family thing or school or something that came up and they couldn't make it into that day or time. And I said sure because I wanted to be a nice guy. I wanted to be the people pleaser. I wanted to say yes to help them out because they see me as a leader and I didn't want them to not be able to do the thing that they needed to do because of me. So I wanted to help out, right? This is where I say saying yes starts to hurt you. I work hard for my shifts. I earn my shifts. It's, not a guarantee. If I slip up, they could probably take away, my hours, my availability. And that's my livelihood. I need bills. I have bills I have to pay. I need money, and I work pretty much full time, as close to full time, 40-hour work weeks and stuff. So yeah, this week I was just kind of being the people pleaser, swapping shifts with some people, doing splits, coming back later in the day, working early, coming back late to, close up shop or whatever. Take care of things, do some miscellaneous tasks that needed to get done, whatever, it's all good. In the back of my head, I'm like, man, doing this is I'm glad I'm doing this right now because so-and-so is able to, go to their class or, they had to go out of town for a wedding or something, I'm glad they were able to make it there, But doing all these, the changing my schedule, like I was getting, I ended up with less hours than what I was originally scheduled with. And I'm like, okay, it's just the 1 week, you know, like I'm gonna be here doing extra stuff, helping out. Like it's all good, you know. And I kind of got, like, I don't know how the right way to say it is, but like kind of screwed with it. I would swap shifts. Somebody would, you know, and then try to help out. I ended up swapping shifts. They ended up pulling the plug on that and canceling and saying, actually, you know what? I already swapped with you. It's confirmed, like it's written in. I'm going to have so-and-so work this instead. So I, you know, kind of missed out on a shift that was mine and approved. I'm not here to be petty or complain about it, right? But saying yes put me in that, you know, harmful situation. Like I ended up losing, right? And I'm a positive person. I was like, you know what? It's just, you know, it's one day. I'll come in on my day off. You know, that's just what I have to do. I had plans on my day off, but you got to do what you got to do, right? And I get that. And like I said, it's flu season, so it's just a lot of unpredictability right now with like scheduling and stuff. You know, like it's all good. But so I'm relearning this lesson of constantly saying yes. I've learned my lesson now that going forward, especially with the holidays when people are, you know, still sick, flu season kind of lasts all the way through winter, you know. We had the first round of flu season. I'm sure as the holidays approach, it's going to be the second batch right before Christmas. You know, and that's all good, right? It's not a concern. It's just life. It happens. But, you know, I'm going to be in a same situation in the near future, right? That I don't want to be in. And I learned my lesson. As the holiday approaches and there's busier and I'm going to be working more and more and 40 plus hours a week, right? I'm definitely not going to be as willing to want to change my schedule to help other people out. It's not that I want to be a bad guy, right? But, you know, unfortunately, I had to learn the hard lesson that nobody else is caring as much as I do. I care. I want to help people. I'm happy to change my schedule and possibly, you know, lose some hours, lose some days, have to come and work on my day off because I wanted to help someone. Because it makes me feel good. I want to be helpful. I don't want to be the person standing in someone's way, and them not being able to do something that was really fun or important to them or something. And ultimately, I mean, I know I can't think that I'm the one standing in the way of preventing them, because it was probably, you know, their poor planning or their, you know, they forgot to, you know, get the time off and they're having to do, you know, a bunch of swaps and try to, you know, figure things out last minute, right? But just like, you know, like I said, eventually when you're constantly the one always saying yes to something, people assume that you're going to continue saying yes. And I mean, I'm someone that likes to know that I'm appreciated. Oh, like, thank you so much for, you know, swapping my shift last minute. I really appreciate it. Just going forward, like, if you need something, please ask me first. And, like, whether you mean it or not, but saying it, like, just means a lot more to me, right? Knowing that, like, hey, like, I bent over backwards for you. I went out of my way to try to help you. Please show your appreciation to me. Please thank me. You know, that's all I'm asking for is a thank you. And I feel like in today's day and age, it's a thank you is hard to come by. So I will take what I can get, you know? And again, I'm not trying to be petty about it, right? And I didn't want this video to come out as me complaining, but no, it's like I'm in high school, I learned my lesson of constantly saying yes to everything, and it got me worn out. It not broke me, right? But I had too much on my plate, and I had to have the hard, uncomfortable conversation with some people that, hey, I'm stretched very thin right now. I can't continue doing this for you as much as I would love to. I want to be the person that you can always depend on. I still am that person. But, you know, maybe for the next little bit, you know, ask me before you assume that I can do something. Or, you know, maybe find somebody else for this next event and I'll do the one after it, you know. Or, hey, if I'm happy to do this, but it's got to be on my time. I can't do it at the time that you want me to, right? Setting boundaries is super duper important, whether it may be internal boundaries with yourself or with the people around you. Like, hey, I want to do this, but in order to do this, I need you to do this for me, right? And it's not like a quid pro quo, you know? It's not, I do this, you do that. Just like, hey, like, if you want me to do this, I'm happy to, but it has to be somewhat like on my schedule. Or if you want me to do this right now, I need a little extra help. You're gonna have to get someone else in here to help me do this, right? You know, like I said, with flu season, like a lot of just unpredictability comes in, right? You might be doing a different kind of job that you don't usually do. You might need a little bit of grace. You might be asked to, you know, fill in for somebody that you're capable of doing, or you might get, you know, extra tasks that you normally don't do. In one of my last videos, I said it's only temporary, right? The busiest time of the year for a lot of people, a lot of businesses, a lot of working people, school even, you know, is like from Thanksgiving, November here in the US, middle of November, end of November, the last week of November, right? But beforehand, because you got to do all the planning and stuff, you know? Like I remember being in college and having to worry about midterms and stuff, and then also trying to figure out like, how the heck am I going to get home for Thanksgiving, you know, to see my family? And then, you know, winter comes, you have your finals, your first semester of finals, I remember that. And, you know, you also have to move out of your dorm or whatever. You got to get time off from work to go home for the holidays and stuff. Man, it can be a lot. It can be stressful, and you have to do that all on your own sometimes. And then for businesses, you know, the holidays just bring in just inherently like a lot of business, you know. All across the board, doesn't matter what kind of business it necessarily is. Well, for some it can be slower. The winter brings a slower time of the year, but just most businesses, all the jobs that I've had, Christmas and winter and stuff has been the busiest time of the year. So I'm working extra hours, you know. But my point is that it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to say no if you don't think you can do it, right? You don't want to put yourself in that position to where you might like struggle, you might not succeed, you might end up hurting yourself. Like I said with me, I said yes one too many times, and my paycheck is gonna be, you know, lower than it normally is. And I'm not trying to be greedy with money or anything, right? I'm just being realistic. I have bills I have to pay. I know how much I have to work to pay my bills. And this week, I had to come in on my days off in order just to get by, right? That's on me. You know, I learned my lesson, and that unfortunately this right now, the people I'm working with aren't considerate of me, aren't, you know, don't care about my needs or appreciating me right now. So I am more resistant to want to do them favors, to want to help out. And again, I'm not trying to be salty about it. I'm not trying to be, you know, a buzzkill or anything like that. I'm just like, I gotta put my needs first right now, you know, and that's okay. And if, you know, so-and-so's sick and they need me to cover the shift, I can just, you know, I can be nice about it too. I don't have to say anything that I'm upset about. We're like, I'm sorry, like, I just can't do it that day. I can't do it this week. I have X, Y, and Z coming on. Or actually, you know what? When I'm working the morning and the afternoon, I have something going on in the evening, so I can't cover that evening shift. Or whatever it is, you know, it doesn't matter. You can totally be nice about it. And, you know, I'm not here to complain or anything like that. My whole moral, my point of this story was that, yes, I've been a people pleaser before, and I know at heart, going forward, no matter how hard I try, I will always want to be a people pleaser. I will always want to be that nice guy that's trying to help out and make sure everybody has everything they want, you know? And it's not my job to. Maybe someday it will, right? But for right now, I just gotta go day by day and right now put me first, what's best for me. And this is a hard lesson. Like I said, I learned this lesson in high school, and I did really well up until about now, you know? So it's always learning. It's always going to be something new, but it all relates. It all comes back to that same topic of, you know, learning how to say no, learning how to take care of yourself. And it all starts with that first uncomfortable conversation. Hey, so-and-so, I can't do this for you. I would love to, I just can't right now. And if they're not understanding why you can't, or that, you know, you're trying to put yourself first and take care of yourself right now, mental health is important. I had a great conversation with somebody in the comments about how their mental health was really low right now. And that's totally cool, you know? But imagine if like my mental health was low right now. It has been in the past, and I was constantly saying yes and not being able to take care of myself. Where would I be today? You know? And I've had like some people are like, I don't care, I need you to do this for me. I'm not asking, I'm telling. I'm like, so and so, I'm not gonna work for you anymore if that's the way it's gonna be, you know? I can't continue doing this. This is my last time. Please don't ask me, please don't text me, please don't call me anymore. If you need something, please go to somebody else, you know? And you do it obviously in a polite way, in a cordial way, in a place where you're not going to burn that bridge with that person, but you are just setting the boundaries. Boundaries are important. Saying no is important. That is my whole moral of the story. I don't want to keep dragging this out, but it's super important, man. I care about everybody out there too much, and I don't want to see anybody, you know, saying yes when it's gonna hurt them, when it's gonna hurt them like the way like I have, you know, in the past. Right now, like, it's just work, you know, it's just money. I'm not greedy or anything like that. I will survive, right? The world will continue going round and round, you know. And I'm a hustler, you know. I'm not gonna let, you know, something like this, you know, hurt me in the end. It's a bummer that it did right now, but it's only temporary, you know. So that's my whole point of the story. I appreciate you for being here, for watching, for taking the time out of your day to come here and join me. If you're going through something like this right now and you don't quite know the right way to say it, ask me. Let's talk about it in the comments, you know. Or maybe you've been in a similar situation. Like, share your story. It helps other people out there. I just want to help people, right? That's all I'm trying to do. So thank you so much. I think right now I'm at like 179 subscribers, something like that. That is insane. Just the so many people continue joining in and watching these videos. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that I'm actually like out here helping people, and everyone watching is leaving such nice comments. I can't ask for much more than that. It truly warms my heart. So thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you later.